Hey everyone, Shadowwraith back again, this time with a Warlock build video geared toward master level content. This is the build that I use to solo the Festering Core Master Nightfall, so the clips in the background you'll see are from that run. We're going to start out with a Unstoppable Hand Cannon. I prefer Unstoppable Hand Cannon to Pulse Rifle because the mod gives you a explosive shot, which is able to hit multiple champions there. So you can see I hit them both and then was able to kill them. If you have a Pulse Rifle, it's just a high impact burst, which would only hit the front one. Then we have charged overload grenades with oppressive darkness, so you're able to hit multiple champions and then melt them very quickly with Xenophage. And Taken Armaments, you can see I got a little bit of heavy ammo back from the one grenade kill. So if that looks interesting, great. We will jump in and start with Subclass. We're running Top Tree Voidwalker, Attunement of Chaos. The melee gives us about 50% of our grenade back. Then we have Chaos Accelerant to charge grenades for 50% more damage. Bloom, Void ability kills make enemies explode. And Cataclysm, you get a tracking Nova Bomb. I recommend using Vortex grenades here, Healing Rift, and then I like Strafe Glide because you can strafe back and forth while charging the grenade in the air. You can also use Burst Glide if you want more movement speed in a straight line, so it'll help you move quicker in one direction. Alright, jumping now to weapons. Because the current Nightfall has all three shield types, I'm running a Dire Promise with Osmosis. So when I throw a grenade, this turns into a Void weapon. But the main thing I want is an Unstoppable Hand Cannon here. If you're running with a fire team, you don't need Osmosis. You can just rely on grenades or one of your other teammates. Then I have Arsenic Bite and Arc Bow to deal with the Arc Shields, and Overload Arrowheads to deal with Overload Champions. Again, if you're running a fire team, feel free to swap these out. You could run a different hand cannon here, like True Prophecy. You could even run a bow in this slot and a hand cannon in the other. So in this case, like Whispering Slab is pretty easy to pick up, and Nature of the Beast, you should have some of those. Especially if you do not have Controverse holds, I'd recommend running weapons with Demolitionist in these slots to help you regen your grenade quicker. But again, for me, because I'm trying to run this solo, I want Osmosis, Arc, and then Xenophage for Solar. If you don't have Overload Champions or don't have Unstoppables, you can swap in an anti-barrier weapon, like an auto rifle. But for this week, this is what works well. And then I have Xenophage. This is a fairly easy exotic to get. You can even get it solo. There are guides on it. I'm using Xenophage because I know most people don't have Anarchy. But if you really want to solo stuff, I'd recommend using this type of build. So you have Void Hand Cannon, Solar Bow, and Anarchy for Arc Shields. But again, I'll be using Xenophage because I know a lot of people don't have Anarchy. Alternatives, you could use the Ikelos Hand Cannon, which is Void. You can use Nature of the Beast, which is Arc, and then Whispering Slab up top in your kinetic slot or in a different hand cannon. So use the weapons you have. Oppressive Darkness grenades. This will give you a 30% debuff against any enemies you hit with it. Countercharge to become charged with light anytime I stop or overload a champion. Overload grenades for overloading multiple champions at the same time. And then Unstoppable Hand Cannon mod and Overload Arrowheads so that I can deal with both champion types on my own. As far as armor is concerned, I'm running Hood of the Great Hunt because it can slot Taken mods. If you don't have Taken mods or armor, you can solo some of the Last Wish chests every week. I'll put a video link in the description below on a guide on how to do that, but highly recommend getting these. When you kill something with a grenade, if it's taken, you get heavy ammo back. Then I'm running Heavy Ammo Finder. If you have Anarchy, run Grenade Ammo Finder, and then Minor Resist. Controverse Holds is our primary exotic here. Resist incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade, and then hits with a Void Grenade randomly regenerate some amount of your grenade energy. This seems to be, in my experience, between like 20 and 90%. It's pretty insane. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. And then we're running Light Arms Loader for Hand Cannon and Bow Loader, and Recovery Mod because we're already getting our grenades back so quickly. I wanted some extra recovery. If you don't have Controverse holds, you could run something like Sanguine Alchemy for longer rift duration, or Nezrak Sin for ability regen on void kills, or Verity's Brow for an even more powerful grenade, or even something like Fellwinter's Helm. So there are options here for exotics if you don't have Controverse holds. As far as robes, we have Wrath of Rasputin. Anytime you kill a champion with Xenophage, you will get a Warmind Cell. I'll, again, explain a little more about that later, but that's really nice. Overload grenades, Countercharge mentioned before, and then a Discipline mod for grenade regen. boots, we have Protective Light. This is really, really helpful. It gives you significant damage reduction when your shields get broken and you're charged with light. Keeps you alive. I highly recommend this if you're trying to solo something. Banshee sold it a couple weeks ago, I think, so hopefully everyone picked it up. And then Heavy Ammo Scavenger and Discipline Mod. On our Bond, I have Shield Break Charge, again, to get charged with light. And then Oppressive Darkness for that 30% debuff. And Perpetuation, so when I drop my Rift, I'm a little bit quicker in getting my next Rift. And then a Major Resist for anti-champions. You can also run something like Taking Charge here if you get rid of Shield Break Charge and Perpetuation. Up to you. Both are reasonable. All right, now let me explain a little bit about the grenades. There's a cooldown on the Controverse hold, so the first tick, you can see I regen about 20 to 30%, and then right at the end of the grenade, you get a second tick, and that boosted me all the way back up to getting another grenade. So I throw it again. This time, the first tick gives me like 90%, and then right at the end, the second tick fills it up. I can throw it here. You can see it's a huge range. First tick, about 30%, and second tick right there, and fills up the grenade. So that's huge. Xenophage, killing an Ultra gives you a Warmind Cell. If you kill red bars, they give you 15% of a bar, and then yellow bars give you 30%. Basically, you just get that bar to 100%, and you get a Warmind Cell. Ultras, you can see, fill it up immediately. All right, a couple more clips from the actual Nightfall. Again, Overload Bow. Hit him, kill him with Xenophage, you get a Warmind Cell. For long range, this is really helpful. And then this is where Protective Light comes into play. So you can see I overload the champion, I'm charged with light, and then it takes a little longer than I want to kill this champion. I get hit with the first one, completely takes out my shield. Second one barely hurts me at all because of sheltering energy, which comes from Protective Light. Here, I toss an overload nade into the middle. It overloads the champion, blows up all the little adds, and then I'm able to kill the champion no problem. Oppressive Darkness, you can see the yellow numbers. I stop this guy. I'm getting the 30% debuff. Stop the next guy. And again, I'm still getting that Oppressive Darkness buff or debuff. And then at the very end, if all has gone well and you're trying to solo this thing, you'll be able to kill the boss. This took about 40 minutes. Not an incredibly quick run. Not one that I would recommend soloing for materials, but it's doable, and I kind of wanted the challenge, so I went ahead and did it. But you can see master level content if you want masterwork materials, really good. I get an Ascendant Shard plus several prisms and an exotic. So highly recommend it, and hopefully this vid was helpful. Thanks for watching.